Welcome to the Paris Edit podcast. First of all, how was the journey with starting your own fashion line for kids?
How is it? Difficult?
What do you mean by difficult?
Very difficult. Do you know what? It's been a long process, a lot longer than I thought it would be. I was meant to launch over 6 months ago, but that didn't go to plan. But
It
it's
happens
fine.
to everybody,
It's
yeah,
fine,
right?
yeah. Obviously, I do have a full-time job. I really have to manage my time well to make sure that I'm getting
Speak louder.
done what I need to get done.
Yeah.
But no, it's trial and error. It really is trial
it's
and
your
error.
first time, yeah?
Yeah, it's my first time, yeah. I had a glimpse of it when I was studying, because when you do a fashion design degree, you do your
There's
own...
a degree for that.
Yeah.
So if I don't have a degree, I can't do it?
Not really, no.
Really?
No.
It's not like a talent you...
No.
Okay.
In this day and age, I have no idea, but
I
in
could go-
my experience, you need a degree to get a fashion design job, yeah.
Is this offer that I could go on YouTube to watch videos?
Yeah,
and
probably now. Probably,
Yeah.
I think there's so much available now. You could probably learn. But yeah, I did a 4-year course, and then I didn't specialise in kids till my final year. I actually started with men's and women's wear, and then I did a placement year, and I worked with kids because I always wanted to work with kids, and I was trying to figure out how to combine the two. I was like, how can I be creative but also still work with kids? And I was like, oh. And the funny thing was, my university didn't do kids wear as an option ever. They'd never done it before in all the years. Yeah. So I went off to America. I did Camp America, and I worked with some kids there. And then I came back and I was like, I need to do kids wear. It's just where my heart is. Like, there was just something that wasn't sitting right with me with men's and women's wear. I was just like, there's just something my heart wasn't in it. I was like, what is this?
You're a woman. Your heart will be in it. You could try your clothes by yourself rather than looking for kids.
I
who will try
know,
on your
but
clothes.
I like challenge as well, and I think that was why. Because when I came back from that placement year and I brought that to my tutor and I said, can I do kids wear? And she was like, huh? She was like, we don't really do that here. You're not going to have the support as much. We don't have the resources. We don't have the teachers to help you along the way. And I was like, I want to still do it anyway. So I just went for it and I did it. It was hard because I didn't have, like I said, as much support as other people. But
What do you mean you didn't really have a lot, like people didn't support you?
because there wasn't
You did
anybody tutor-wise that specialised in kids wear, because they'd never done it in that university before. I was the first person who was like, I want to specialise in
that.
this.
You're a pioneer, right?
Yeah, I'm a bit crazy, yeah.
I like that.
I like hard work. But
Yeah, that was good.
I'm glad I did it though, because ever since then, it just went from there. So I did that. I specialised in my final year, and then there's like a part in the final year where you get assessed,
Right.
and then you get chosen to go into a fashion show
How long ago was that?
in London. I graduated in 2018, so it was
5 years ago.
yeah, it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Feels like yesterday.
Yeah.
It goes so fast.
I can imagine that.
Yeah, and then I became quite successful with it actually.
Oh, cool.
So I got into the fashion show. We went to London.
Kids fashion show?
It's like a graduate fashion week. It's like a big
okay.
show in London for like loads of universities, the top universities, and you showcase your work there. And a lot of people come to sponsor you, or it's really good for job opportunities.
So that's where you get support.
Yeah, like a lot of brands come. That's where you get scouted. It's like that sort of thing where
Yeah, you get scouted.
when people come,
the best minds.
yeah, to see your work and see what you can do. And I did it, and then I got into the next part of the show, which was a bit more defined.
For finalists here.
For the people who they selected from the previous show. So like a next stage, which was amazing. And after that, I got quite a lot of job opportunities from that show.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
quite a lot of job opportunities from that.
And you were like over the place. Oh, what would I do?
Yeah,
How would
I was
do
very
it?
overwhelmed because I didn't expect it. And then I actually won an award from that show, from my collection, which was amazing. I won the Children's Mother Care Award.
Cool.
which was amazing. And then that led to a work placement there. I did that for a little while, but I didn't want to stay in London. I always wanted to work abroad.
Why London will be a really good place for you to develop, because you have support, you won an award, and you become recognized. So
yeah, I think for me it was getting out of my comfort zone. I didn't like to be comfortable. So I was like, I want to get out. I think fashion is good because it can take you to different countries. There's fashion all over the world. There's always going to be a job somewhere.
And you can work from home, yeah?
Not really, no. It's more of a hands-on job, I must say. But
where if you have your studio at home, probably you can work from home.
Yeah, that's soon to come. That is soon to come, hopefully. And then I went to the States. I had some interviews with amazing companies, Ralph Lauren, Gap, which was amazing.
Awesome.
In New York. Yeah, that was an amazing experience. America didn't work out in the end.
Why do you think it didn't work out?
The States is hard to get into when you're new into the industry.
Right, yeah.
You need to,
it's about who knows somebody there. Yeah,
and it's hard with a visa and stuff like that for the States, which everybody knows. But again, I'm glad that didn't work out because it led me to other things, and I just think everything aligns, so it was fine.
So after the States, what
so then when I was in the States actually job hunting, I got contacted from H&M.
Oh.
And it's funny because when I was doing my placement year, I applied for H&M in Stockholm. They didn't. I got turned down like 2 or 3 times.
Whoa.
And I was so upset because I really wanted it. It was like, it was the placement where it was like the cool placement to get. I was like, really want it so bad. They turned me down twice, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I gave up on that, and then I ended up working other places. But then when I graduated, they reached out to me, and by that point I knew America wasn't going to work. So then I accepted the job in Sweden.
Yeah.
And went to Sweden. I worked in H&M for 2.5 years, which was an amazing start to my career, I think.
Yeah.
It was, I learned so much, an amazing company. And kids wear, again, because I said I didn't want to
do female stuff.
I didn't want to do men's or women's. And I'm quite proud of myself actually for that, because a lot of job opportunities did come my way, but it was not a lot of them was in kids.
Yeah.
Kids is always seen as like the least popular category, and it still is like that now.
But then people buy more for their kids.
Yeah,
right?
I think it's the category where it's kind of like pushed to the side a little bit. Everyone wants to do menswear or women's wear. It's a bit like cooler, but I was just like, I'm just going to do kids wear. That's what I love, and if I'm not doing kids wear and fashion, I don't want to do it. So yeah, I had that amazing experience, and I had a bit of a weird turnaround towards the end. I fell out of love with fashion a little bit. And I was like,
wow, it became boring, or what was the routine?
I don't know. I think I don't know. I was like, I want to do something else. I'm very like that though.
Yeah.
I always want to do everything. So I was like,
I
random.
know a lot of people like you.
Yeah. I was like, I want to be a nurse. Like,
no,
I swear.
no
Yeah.
way.
I was like, I want to be a children's nurse. Full on, like I was into it. Like my friends back then will know this story, and I was literally like, I'm done with fashion now. Like finished H&M, I was ready to go. Ooh. I was applying for my nurse degree.
For a nurse degree?
Yeah. I was applying for my nurse degree. I was looking into it.
People will think this girl is crazy.
Yeah, they're like, you've gone from fashion design to
how is that even connected?
A doctor. Like how is that? And I was like, I just want a bit more of that kind of closeness with kids, because design, you're not around kids, you're just designing for them. So I was just like, I was missing that kind of energy, I think. And
kids
I was
energy.
like, I'm just gonna exactly. I was like, I'm just gonna be a nurse then. And then I remember ringing my dad. I can't remember if I rang my mum or my dad first. I think it might have been my dad, and his reaction was actually quite surprising. He was like, go for it. Like, I think you'd be really good at it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
My mum and dad were quite surprised, because obviously it's such a big difference. So how strange. Anyway.
But then I think if you look deep down into it, there is a connection, because you were making clothing for kids, right?
Yeah.
It's still the same kids. And clothing is like taking care of kids, and you wanted to be more and more involved into that stuff.
I think so. But during the time I was in Sweden, for about the last year I was there, I always wanted to work in Dubai, and I don't know why. I just had
maybe the sun.
I don't know. And my mum had been there a few times. I remember always telling me about it. And it's funny because before I came here, I'd never came for a holiday. I'd never been before.
A lot of people I made say that to me.
To the interview stage, and I was getting to the next interview stage, and then fall through. I kept falling through, and I was like, oh, maybe it's not meant to be. Let me leave it.
Easy.
And then obviously I started with like the nursing thing. I was like into this,
you went back
it's
to the
all working out for me, like it's fine. And I got a message on LinkedIn from a employer from Dubai.
Nice.
And I was like, huh?
This is it.
Out of nowhere. And it was kids wear.
Oh.
Again, kids wear is such a not a hard job to find, but there's not as many. There's not as many jobs as there is in women's wear and men's wear.
Right.
And I think that was why I wasn't getting as much opportunity,
right?
Especially in Dubai. It's not the biggest fashion place. There's places that are bigger, for fashion. Anyway, so then I was like, oh, like what am I going to do? And then somehow, I don't quite remember how, I just fell into it, and I was just like, I'm just going to do it.
Yeah.
And then I came, and then that was it. Then I've been here for 2.5 years nearly.
2.5 years.
Yeah.
And, so how is it working out for you?
I think it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I'm not going to lie. I think in the fact, like, I didn't realise it's quite a start-up place for fashion brands.
Oh, really?
My first job was a start-up brand, and then that experience ended quite quickly. Then my next job was another startup brand, and I was thrown quite in the deep end with my second job. I was offered a manager role, and I took it
and it became overwhelming for you, right?
I probably shouldn't have took that role, but I did anyway.
Well, there's a lot of learning curve for it.
Yeah, it was. I wouldn't say it was the best experience.
But yeah, what did you learn so far?
I think I learned how to manage other people.
Not to manage kids?
No, there was no kids there, unfortunately. No, there wasn't.
But,
that was a great experience.
Yeah, that's good for leadership roles.
Yeah, no, it was very good. But again, it was quite a short amount of time. I was there for just under a year.
Yeah, it was a long time in some aspects.
Yeah, in some, yeah. So I did that. I've honestly had every experience you could imagine in such a short amount of time when it comes to fashion in Dubai.
Fashion is very fast too.
Yeah.
So if you're starting out as a fashion startup, you're probably gonna go very fast. You fail, you succeed.
Yeah. And then now I'm in my third job. But I've heard that's actually not the best. I got taught that's not great on your CV, like jumping from job to job.
But this is not your fault.
No, it's not at all. But again.
But then it's still like you have a lot of experience that most people would do.
Yeah, I think I've learned in such a short amount of time.
So much. What people will learn 5 years.
Exactly. I've had that privilege of learning and being in 3 different companies in the space of 2 years.
In
Dubai. All very different companies. Now I'm in quite a big company, and I'm happy here. It's great, but then I was like, still not enough for me. What can I do?
So what will be enough for you?
Do you know what? I think I'm one of those people, and all my friends say this to me. I don't know what will ever be enough. I'm always looking for the next thing. I'm very like that. That's a blessing and a curse, though.
Yeah,
because
it's a blessing
hard.
and a curse.
Yeah, and I've learnt that. I think now at this point in my life, that's the biggest learning that I've had to learn, is to just try and be a bit more present. Because I tend to achieve something, not enjoy that moment, and then I'm like, okay, what's the next thing now? Like, I've done that.
It's like you love the process, and as long as you're used to that, it fades, and then you want dopamine.
Yeah, you want more.
You want more.
And I didn't come here with the intention of starting my own brand.
So what motivated you to start your own brand in the first place? Did you discover something not in the market, or what?
I think it was that the 9-to-5 job life wasn't enough for me. I think you need to have a bit of a talk with yourself, because you don't want to be stubborn, or you don't want to be like, I didn't want to be like, okay, I'm quitting my 9-to-5 job and I'm just
that's not good,
I had to kind of sit still for a second and think, okay, what's sensible? And to be in Dubai, having a job that's stable is going to help you a lot.
Yeah, you need that support, that stability.
Exactly. And at first I'm just going to quit my job and then I'm just going to do my own brand and then I'm just going to solely do that. And I was like, hold on a second. And I'm quite lucky because what I do on a day-to-day basis as a job, I don't call it a job because to me it's not a job, it's my hobby. And I'm so fortunate to have that feeling. I don't feel like I'm at work ever.
Yeah, I had a conversation with somebody this morning, so yeah.
It's amazing.
It's a part of you, second nature.
Yeah, and I just think I'm learning on like in this industry and taking so much knowledge every single day and using it for myself and putting it into what I'm doing. So I was let me make the best of both. It's hard. I'm literally getting up, working before I go to work. Then I go to work and I work when I get home. And it's a lot, but I think that you just have to block out the distraction. That's another thing. In Dubai...
So what distracts you?
Everything. This is what I mean.
Yeah, in Dubai can be very distracting. Yeah, distracting. There's a lot of things.
So disciplined.
Well, of course, you need discipline.
Because there is something all the time. There's a party, Monday to Sunday. There's always something you can be doing. You can be outside. Like, you have to be
Monday could be partying and anything.
And I'm lucky, I'm quite introverted. Again, not a lot of people know that about me, but I am quite homebody. I do love to be home and stay home. So I think that helps because I think if I was a bit more outgoing, I would struggle with doing this because it takes a lot of time and
lots of
energy and mental energy, physical energy. Like, it's hard. And at first, when I was going through like the easy stage of it, of creating the brand, and I was like, why doesn't everyone do this? It's so easy. And then it started to get, because I'm a creative, I've never dived into any sort of business.
Right.
Because I've always, design is design. You have other people to handle those things, the money, the numbers, the business side.
And then you started doing it on your own.
And then I had to, because I'm doing this alone. And I started to dive into the business side of it. And I was like, okay, now I understand why not everybody does this. Because it's hard.
For fashion, I understand. If you're doing male or female adult clothing, there is a chance that you'll be marketing to your friends, your family,
it's a bit
the friends
easier.
of your friends. But what about kids? What do you go to the hospital? Do you go to some place where you see kids frequenting with their families, parents, or do you get into some space where you have families and then you market to them?
Well, it will be mums and dads. And
how do you get his mom? You're not a mom.
You just have
mom
to
would
use
like
resources.
I understand it would be easier for a mom to connect with a mom. For you,
yeah, but I'm not a mom.
How would you do
true.
this?
Again, just through industry, through people you know, and you just have to figure it out. Like, you just have to figure it out.
Have you done that?
Yes, finally, I've done that. Yeah, with help. I have had a lot of help, but again, I'm quite fortunate. I do have such a great circle of people around me that helped me so much. And but it's tough. But you're learning as you're going. And me, when I don't understand something, I get quite frustrated, and I've had to learn, like, you don't know everything.
You don't know. You have to. It's important to seek help.
Yeah, and I'm the world's worst person for asking for help. I'm terrible. And I think that is also taught me personal things, like just ask for help. Like, it's taught me to be like, oh, like, can you help me with this? Because I have no idea. Yeah. But it's tough, but it's worth it. And
so what are some of the challenges I want you to state down, apart from numbers, coming from being a designer to actually becoming an entrepreneur? What are the challenges for building a fashion business?
I think when you do it alone, and I don't mean that in the sense of I don't have anyone else's input around me, because I do, and I've had people along the way that I'm so grateful for that have helped me, that maybe aren't around me now. So I just want to say that first. But I think it's making decisions. I think it's trusting in yourself and making decisions. I'm really bad at I'm so indecisive. And I think it's taught me to just be you have to have a split mind of design and business also. Yeah. And I think that's hard as a creative person to get into that business mind frame.
Especially when you're introverted.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to get into sales if you're an introvert.
Yeah, no, it is. It's really hard. And like I said, just ask anyone that that has the knowledge that you don't is going to help you, because I've done that a lot. And yeah, I'm lucky to also be in that industry where it's got a meaning behind it. It's not just a clothing brand of...
You have to wait for the line.
Yeah, I can't say too much. I'm sorry. No, it's got a concept behind it. It's got a meaning behind it. I think it means something. And yeah.
There's a connection between this and the kid you're trying to say?
There's a big connection, I think. With the kids are very involved, and it's quite inspired by kids. Yeah, I think it's
I see. So with how it's going, you don't expect anything. And if tomorrow it goes bust, you'll be fine.
It goes bust. God, it's going to take a lot for me to go bust, I think. I think if you allow it to get to that, you have to keep pushing. Your first collection might not sell at all, but then you might do another one and it might sell out. You just don't know. I think it's about testing. It's just this is a trial and error. I feel like I have no idea.
It's like a scientist.
Yeah, and especially in a place where I'm not in London. I don't know if I was launched in London.
Have you gotten some feedback from London?
No, not really. Not at the moment. But as in culturally, weather-wise, there's just so many different. I don't know what people like here as much as I would where I come from. Do you know what I mean? So this is to see. It'll be interesting.
So you're testing the waters here.
Yeah, I think I'm testing the waters here, and just to see what colour sells here, what people like and what they don't like. It's everything. You just don't know. It's literally just do it.
See what sells and capitalize on that.
Yeah. Something might sell more than something else, and you think, oh, I wonder why, and then you have to analyse, and then yeah, it's an ongoing thing.
So what has been your biggest support?
What has been?
Or who, what, where, which?
I think different aspects. I think my friends, my family for sure.
Right.
And I think when I first started this new job, I was like, it was tough. I don't want to stay too long. Like, it was long hours. I felt it was getting in my way of what I wanted to do, and I had a bit of an attitude. I'm not going to lie. I did have this kind of bratty attitude where I was just like, and I wasn't looking at how blessed I was to have such an amazing job to teach me and actually
just
support me. Yeah, but it's supporting me. It's supporting me financially. It's supporting me with my brand without even knowing.
Right.
Because it's giving me all the tools and the knowledge, and then I go home and I'm still in that mentality. I'm still in that kind of, do you know what I mean? And even in the morning, where I'm like, I don't really want to I'm not in the mood to do my own brand this morning. And then I'll go to work and it'll put me back into that mindset, and then I'll want to do it
Maybe
more.
you still use that same energy.
Yeah, I think being in that environment around those sort of people and successful people in that industry. And I'd say my job is also a good support.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's imagine you decided at a point, okay, I want to. A lot of people they make this mistake of, I want to do my own thing, so I'm quitting my job. How do you think would have gone?
I don't think it's a mistake. I think for some people it works. I think it works. But for me, I think I'd be a little bit stupid to do that, because, like I said, it'd be different if I was doing a brand in food and I was working in fashion design. It's really the point. It just doesn't make sense. But I'm doing what I love and I'm taking so much from it. So for me, it was just like a no-brainer. I don't know how it's going to be once I do launch the brand, time-wise, like how much time I'm going to have, because now obviously it's all on my own deadlines. It's on my own deadline. If I just think, I'll just do it tomorrow, or I'll work maybe an hour less today on my own thing and I can do it tomorrow. But once I'm launched and I have customers, you can't
things
decide.
Will start picking up. Yeah.
It's if you've got an order to be sent out at 2:00 in the morning to make sure it's there the next day, I'm gonna have to do it. I don't know how it's gonna be once. I have no idea.
You have no idea.
No.
I like the mentality that you have no expectation, because it leaves you open. So whatever goes wrong, you can work on it, or you can leave it, you could start something else, like maybe the things you don't even want to do in the first place.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of people go into business and they're like, okay, it's gonna work and we're gonna do this. There's a lot of expectation, and these are the sort of people who don't even they can't even take bad reviews, feedback, or because this is very important.
You've got to learn to take criticizing feedback as well.
Yeah,
for sure, and learn from it.
Have you been getting any feedback?
Yeah, there's sometimes, especially my friends will be like,
your friends I don't think your friends, especially at this stage, friends love to support.
Yeah. No, but my friends are very good. They'll be like, you need to calm down. Like, they will tell me straight. Like,
you're lucky. You're very lucky.
You're very lucky. They're not like, oh, they're so honest. They kind of put me back in my place sometimes. But yeah.
Where do you see the fashion industry going in terms of kids' clothing?
I think it's growing. I think it's becoming more popular, and I think it will continue to grow, maybe at a bit of a slower pace than men's and women's wear, but I do think that it is growing, and I think that
is that in relation to the population?
Maybe. Yeah, well, yeah, that's well, for sure.
So you probably just say, yeah, okay. So someone like you will support having more kids, yeah. Because it's for your own benefit.
If it makes you happy, yeah.
It's for your benefit.
For sure.
If a woman has one kid, you're probably going to buy just one. But if they have five, probably going to buy five.
Maybe. But kids grow fast, don't forget.
Yeah, they go very fast, yeah.
Kids grow very, very fast, so.
But I think that's another thing. The fact that they grow very fast means a parent could buy one, within 3 months, the kid outgrown it.
Yeah, and
they buy another one.
Exactly.
It's not like me right here. I could buy a shirt for 2 years, 4 years until it's worn out. And I'm not going anymore. Is that one of the reasons why you decided to go into kids, or you didn't figure that out?
No, I don't think so. And also I don't think people understand that kids wear, a lot more has to go into it, because you have to be careful with certain fabrics. You've got children's safety. You can't
there's a lot of laws regarding that.
You can't use. You have to be careful of the measurement of the for example, the draw cords of things, buttons. You have to be very. It's quite technical, kids wear, which I love about that. Yeah, a lot goes into it. The fabric. You have to be careful because kids are easily irritated as well. A lot more sensitive. Yeah.
Right. Or for male, you were doing male clothes only.
As in kids wear?
Kids wear.
My first job was girls, baby girls. I was doing baby girl. And then my second job was a bit of both. And then this job I'm doing now is boys. I specialise in boys.
Why? I would think a woman would do.
It's not always by choice though. It's not always by choice.
So what brought you here with boys? And
I think.
Is it easy or
easier than girls?
Yeah.
To design?
Yeah. Most likely, yeah.
I think I think it's a little bit more simple. I think boys are a bit more. It's more simple than girls. You don't have glitter and sequins, and
you'd have to put a lot of designs and all that stuff.
It's not detailed, but it depends who you're designing for, like the market.
And do because for adults, ladies buy more than men.
Yeah.
Is it the same with kids?
As in, is girls more popular than boys?
Yeah.
Or?
Do parents buy more for the girls than for the boys?
No, but I would say there's more variety with the girls.
Yeah.
There is more. You have to have a little bit more variety with girls.
Or maybe more for the boys, because a boy could wear 2-3 piece. A girl could just wear 1 piece.
Yeah, it really depends. Like I said, the company you're working for, and the brand, like Zara, can be very basic. They've got a basic section, but they've also got, party section. And
you have basic and party for kids?
Yeah, so there's so many different categories. Many different categories. You've got a design team for each.
So what do you design? Everything.
Everything. Loungewear mainly. T-shirts, hoodies, joggers, that kind of vibe.
First time I heard of loungewear.
Yeah, it's like streetwear. It's comfy stuff.
Comfy stuff,
Yeah.
like, you know,
With
energy
a
babies.
twist. Yeah.
With a little twist.
Yeah.
What do you mean a little twist?
Like a little kid twist. The details. But yeah, so.
You look very excited.
I am. But the brand is for boys and girls. It's not, I don't have it split, so it's quite gender neutral. So the colours are all the same for boys and girls. There's no separation for that.
Is there usually colour separation?
Sometimes there can be some, not as much now, but there sometimes can be. Or completely different collections. There's, again, Zara, for example, has completely different collections from boys to girls. Or you can go in H&M and you've got a black tracksuit for boys, and then it's also a black tracksuit for girls, but maybe it's just a little bit different, the shape or whatever. But yeah.
So let's assume I want to go into fashion industry. How would I start?
A fashion degree. No, I'm joking. Go to university. No. How would you start? Find there's so many different roles in fashion. You've got fashion buying, you've got merchandising, you've got design.
Oh, you're a shopper or
business,
something?
fashion.
I think of late we have shoppers.
Oh, like personal shopper.
Yeah, personal shoppers, yeah.
Yeah.
It's become a thing in the past few years.
Stylist. I wanted to be a stylist for a little bit because it's a little bit more active. Never got into that one. And also another thing, it's assumed, and I was always told this as well, and this is another interesting point, that design is seen as not a good job. Or like fashion design is like not...
What is not a good job?
Or not well paid, or like...
Fashion designer?
Yeah, like a fashion designer.
Well, I would think it depends on the company, what you design. If you design for Christian Louboutin or something, I'm sure you get good pay.
But it's like one of those jobs where it's difficult to get a good salary, I'm going to be honest.
Really?
It's difficult. Yeah. Especially in the design world. Buying, not so much, but design is difficult.
So...
Like all arts. It's, you're
going,
like you're going to go and do art at uni. Art, like it's art. It's not like a doctor or a lawyer. Like art's always, I think, frowned upon, or photography. Do you know what I mean? When you're like, Mum, I want to go and do photography. It's like, what? No. Yeah, but I think anything's possible. I mean, I'm lucky. I achieved a lot in such a short amount of time. I think financially as well, which everyone knows this about me. I hate talking about finance, but I think it's important because you can earn a good living from it. You can.
You can earn a good living from it.
100%. 100%.
What do you mean good living? Define your,
all right, no,
your good living
good
term.
living is different to everyone, but I mean, like, you can be very, it's not... You can earn a good salary from it, for sure.
What range are we talking a good salary?
I don't know. I don't like to talk numbers.
What range? Yeah, a good salary for you could be nothing for somebody.
That's true.
Nothing for somebody could be so good for you.
That's true.
Yeah.
I, again, was blessed. I doubled my yearly salary in the space of a year.
That's awesome.
Yeah, from when I first came here. And I didn't know that was even possible. I didn't know that you could do that.
And that gives you the Dubai life that you want. Perhaps, yeah.
What is the Dubai life? Everybody says this. I don't know.
The Dubai life is doubling your salary in a year.
Having nice things, you mean?
Not having nice things.
Oh, okay.
Being at a place where you could afford nice things if you want to.
Yeah, or I think it's
totally
just,
different from having them.
I think it's about...
And saving some for your own. For your adventure.
Yeah.
Starting a business.
Yeah, that would be my main thing, I think.
Yeah.
I really hate talking about money. Again, everybody knows this about me, but I think it's important to mention, to be honest, and I'm just going to be very real and open. For me, that has been I got to that stage of my life very quickly. I never expected
Lucky you.
to have that at such a young age. But it's not all what people think at all.
What do you mean such a, how old are you?
I'm 28. I'm not.
You're what?
I'm not that young. I'm 28.
That's not young, yeah?
Yeah, it's not young, but,
Yeah, but
in the fashion world, it is. It takes
is?
years to build a strong portfolio and to get to a good salary.
Oh.
It's known for it, yeah. It's really known for it, but again, money's not everything. I've learnt that. And I'm lucky to learn that at 28 because
you know what?
I know everyone said that is so controversial. Oh God, everyone's going to come at me for that one.
When a person tells me money is not in everything, but at least you should have it for you to say it's not everything, because you never really know who you are until you have some sort of amount of money. So if you say money is not everything, I believe you.
No, it's not. It's quite. I know people might take that the wrong way, but some people chase that.
What are you chasing?
I don't know. Do you know what? I just love hard work and I love a challenge. But that's also, it can come crashing down, trust me. I've been at the most successful, this is probably the most successful point of my career-wise, financially. And I've had some of the most unhappiest moments where I'm like, wow, I have everything, but there's something, sometimes I'm like, what am I doing this for? It's not. That's why I say money's not everything, and I'm glad that I've learnt that now.
But you know what? The fact that you have the money and you felt unhappy means that you have less to worry about. Yeah.
No, it helps. It does help.
You could be worrying about your insurance. Your car.
Of course. But yeah, I just wanted to... Sometimes people think, oh, you live in Dubai, you've got such a nice life, you've got this, you've got that. But if you're not happy, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter because...
So are you happy?
Yeah, I'm getting there. I must say I'm getting there.
What makes you happy?
What makes me happy? Work makes me happy. And people always say, oh, you need to stop. You need to have a break. You need to stop. But it just makes me happy. It makes me feel...
Because you are creating something.
Yeah, I'm just creating something. I think friends, family makes me happy.
Coffee?
Yeah, coffee. Do you know what? I'm quite bad because coffee's become more of a habit rather than an enjoyment. Now I'm like, oh God, I need to calm down. No, but yeah.
That's fine. And I think having a support system like you do is really important.
No, it is.
Having family, a lot of people don't have this opportunity. And a lot of people don't have this mindset of coming here for 2 years and start their own business.
Yeah. Some people are like, you're starting your own business already? And I'm like, guys, I ain't got time to waste. I need to get on it now.
Yeah, I know people who, I'm going to start my business in a year. I'm going to start.
Yeah.
And then it takes 5 years, 7 years.
It takes a long time.
And then they never start this business.
And I think you need to also just put your blinders on, because it's so easy to think, oh, there's already 10 kids wear brands. What's the point?
There is always an opportunity.
Yeah,
there is a room for everybody.
There's always somebody doing something better than you, worse than you. You cannot look around. And like I say, I think in Dubai, everyone's doing amazing.
Yeah.
Everyone is always doing something great, and you feel a little bit like, oh, it's competitive here. People
still start companies selling water.
It's crazy.
But you have a lot of water bottling companies already.
Exactly.
The thing is that you're not selling for everybody.
No, exactly.
And you will never sell for everybody. You will never appeal to everybody. But you have your community. You have your funnel. You have people who will buy from you. So.
Yeah, you just have to stay very focused on what you're doing. Block out the surroundings, and I think you have to be disciplined. You have to be committed.
So for a person,
and not compare yourself. Yeah. That's so easy to do. So easy to do with social media.
Comparison is the thief of joy.
It is. It really is. I do it sometimes. I'm like, oh my God, like why are people going to buy my, like, you do doubt yourself, but I'm like, you're not going to know until you try, and you just have to believe. If you don't believe in it, who else? Well, you have to. I know it sounds like everyone says that, but it's true. It's really true, and I think it shines through. Someone can see you have no doubt it's going to work. I know it's going to work, for sure. I don't know when, though. It might not work straight away. It might not work in 5 years. It might work in 10.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with not knowing that, but I know that it's something.
Yeah, and as you go along, you get feedback, you rate traits. You never know, you might just end up being a nurse.
Yeah, maybe. I wouldn't, do you know what? I wouldn't be annoyed at that, to be honest.
Oh, cool, yeah.
I would love to work in a hospital at some point. Maybe later on, maybe in 30 years, I'll be a doctor.
Do you have a nursing degree?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
I'll just do one.